So hello, hi there guys. In this video, obviously we are finalizing the test one, I guess, right? So it's test one. So in this kind of questions, like list of headings, it's really crucial to understand that time is a crucial matter. It will take a lot of important time. So you must not waste too much time on too much on like other easy questions, like or whatsoever. So, however, in this approach, it is extremely crucial to understand that while you're doing this one, because we know that this question, it doesn't come in order. While you're reading this, you can also somehow understand that you might somehow find the question that is in summary completion that requires no more than 2 words, and the yes or no given. Which is obviously, if I see the yes or no given question, a very high there's a very high reason that I would say it's a book review. So now, um, let me adjust my microphone here. Take it a little bit. There we go. All right. I guess so. I would find an institution. I would find an institution where any person can find instruction in any subject. That was the founder's motto for Cornell University, and it seems an apt characterization of the different university. Also in the U.S., where I currently teach philosophy, a student can prepare for a career in resort management, engineering, interior design, accounting, music, law enforcement, you name it. But what would the founders of these two institutions have thought of a course called Arson for Profit? I kid you not, we have it on the books. Any undergraduates who have the academic requirements can sign up for the course in our program in fire science. So this is somehow kind of a, like they're saying that this Cornell University has courses in resort management, engineering, interior design, accounting, music, law enforcement, and you name it, and so on. And there's those, but they're also saying that what if we add a course called Arson for Profit? It's about a fire science. So if once we go to that, a course that requires a high level of commitment, a course title with two meanings, the equal importance of two key issues, supplying a theory in an unexpected context, the financial benefits of studying, a surprising course title, there we go. Different means for the possibility of attracting the wrong kind of students. No, there's nothing about that. So we're going to take that and put as number six. The really easy one. So we're not going to waste time. However, the this is a university course intended for students who are undergraduates and are studying. And okay, what are they studying? Is there anything that they're studying about? We really want to know if okay, any undergraduate who have met the academic requirements can sign up for the course in our program in fire science. So 2 words who are studying in our program fire science. So So it can be said that students who can sign up for the course are undergraduates and those who are studying fire science, right? So the answer here should be fire science, right? So we can take that. The expectation is that they will become something specialized in arson. Okay. Naturally, the course is intended for prospective arson investigators. So the expectation is that they will become something specialized in arson. Um, the course is intended something for investigators. Become what? Arson perspective. So like I actually have this one. So take specializing in arson. Let me say this specializing in arson. So it is saying in specialized prospective arson investigators. All right, now this one is the words from the question and similar words from the passage. There we go. And actually, let me just give this a nice format. There we go. This one has to be Z specializing. What is wrong here? Specializing. Okay, I'm having a mistake here. Let me actually just use this one. Now, naturally, the course is intended for prospective arson investigators, so the pretty much become arson special become investigators. Investigators. So pretty much because the expectation is that they will become. The course is intended. The expectation. This is the intended. The who is that called? The expectation is the expectation is, and here is the course is intended. The course is intended. So, intended for prospective arson investigators who can learn all the tricks of the trade for detecting whether a fire was deliberately set. It is difficult to attract students onto courses that do not focus on a career. Is it? Yet when found, the arson for profit course would be useful for people intended to set a fire to the buildings. Okay, really nice one. But discovering who did it and establishing a chain of evidence for effective prosecution in a court of law. The course will help them to detect cases of arson and find something of criminal intent, and find evidence for effective prosecution, establishing a chain of evidence. Chain of evidence. Here is a chain of evidence. Prosecution in court of law. Prosecution in a court of law. But in the text it is saying that detect cases, find something criminal intent here. This is the chain of evidence, now for effective prosecution, a chain of evidence for effective prosecution. There we go. Now, so can find an evidence here for criminal intent leading to successful something in the court, leading to successful what? Prosecution? Leading to a successful prosecution. Okay, yeah, prosecution. In the courts, so in the courts, pretty easy. In the courts, in a court of law. So also successful is like effective. Successful is effective. There we go. Now we have finished with that. Paragraph B. So my point is not to criticize academic programs in fire science. They're highly welcome. They're highly welcome. Increasing professionalization of this and many other occupations. However, it's not unknown for a firefighter to torture a building. This example suggests how dishonest and illegal behavior with the help of higher education can creep into every aspect of public and business life. Pretty interesting. Really interesting, not gonna lie. So paragraph B. It is dealing with targeting students of the course because of the first sentence. You can see that the course somehow it's saying the course is intended for prospective arson investigators, right? And then it's saying, but wouldn't this also be perfect course for prospective arsonists to sign up for? So it's somehow asking a question. So whether or not, so the possibility of prospective arson investigators, but wouldn't this also be perfect course for prospective arsonists to sign up for? My point is not to criticize, blah blah blah. So yeah, it's kind of the courses might attract those students who might not be interested in starting fires, not fighting fires. So arsonists and arson fighters, arson investigators and arsonists, they're like two things. So yeah, this is going to be the option. So okay, so number 8 is gone. C. I realized this anew when I was invited to speak before a class in marketing, which is another of our degree programs. The regular instructor is a colleague who appreciates the kind of ethical perspective I can bring as a philosopher. There are endless ways I could have approached this assignment, but I took my cue from the title of the course, Principle of Marketing. It made me think to ask the students, is marketing principled? After all, a subject matter can have principles in the sense of being codified, having rules, as with football or chess, without being principled in the sense of being ethical. Many of the students immediately assumed that the answer to my question about marketing principles was obvious. No. Just look at the ways in which everything under the sun has been marketed. Obviously, it need to be done in a principled, ethical fashion. The arson profile would be useful for intending. Okay. Um. Um. Paragraph C. What is the paragraph C is talking about? Paragraph C, pretty much, it's talking about the title of the course. It's talking about the title of the course. So he took the title of the course from a mark from and named it, or maybe he took it from principles of marketing. Um. So so somehow this one is trying to tell us this, that this is kind of um seventh option, different names for different outcomes. However, here it is a little bit different. The author only states that one confusing title that could be recognized by his students in two different ways, as it deals with two meanings of principles. Because it made me think, is marketing, after all, subject matter can have principles in the sense of being codified, having rules, as with football, chess, blah, blah, blah. Many of the students immediately assume that the answer to my question about is blah, blah, blah. No, just look at the ways in which everything under the sun has been marketed. Obviously, it need to be done in principle. So it's basically talking uh it's talking about the way how students will understand the course, right? So I realized this anew when I was invited to speak before a class in marketing, which is another of our degree programs. The regular instructor is a colleague who appreciates the kind of ethical perspective I can bring as a philosopher. There are endless ways I could have approached this assignment, but I took my cue from the title of the course, Principle of Marketing. It made me think to ask the students: is marketing principled? After all, a subject matter can have principles. A subject matter, it's kind of a put people to think. So I think that's basically, I think this is number two. A course title with two meanings, because let me actually remove this first of all. We have already confirmed the answer for the number five. I would say that it's a surprising course title. But as in this section, the author only states one confusing title that could be recognized by his students in two different ways, as it deals with two meanings of principles. Two meanings of principles. The first principle, the first one is answer to my question. The first one is no, and the other one is ethical fashion. Many of the students immediately assumed that the answer to my question about marketing principles was obviously no. This was the first one. And then he's saying, just look at the ways in which everything under the sun has been marketed. Obviously, it need to be done in a principled, ethical fashion. So yeah, why did I highlight this one? Excuse me. Okay, thank you. So that's why it's the option number two is the correct one. However, the arson for profit, no. Now, it's not obvious. I made the suggestion, which may sound downright crazy in light of the evidence, that perhaps marketing is by definition principled. My inspiration for this judgment is the philosopher Immanuel Kant, who argued that any body of knowledge consists of an end or purpose and a means. Okay, this is really really confusing. It's a very small paragraph, and I mean, I'm not sure, because you can cross out some answers straight away because you know that they are wrong for sure. I mean this one, you can in equal importance of two key issues. No, applying a theory in an unexpected context. Um, because the writer is providing a reference to the idea of the philosopher Kant that any body of knowledge is principled. The author states that in the first line that the idea sounds downright crazy in light of evidence, which is a clear match with unexpected context. So this is kind of a synonym for it. Downright crazy in light of evidence. That's unexpected context, which may sound downright crazy in the light of evidence that perhaps marketing is by definition. Downright crazy in the light of evidence is some sort of a idiomatic expression I have found. I mean, I have read once uh from the articles. So I would say that this is a option number four. So that's why I'm gonna take that. Okay, so remove this again. Now, So this one is pretty much where we're getting the answers. By the way, I forgot highlighting these. Number 33, fire signs. So here 33. Whoops. Number 33, investigators. Here's gonna be 34. Sorry for that. And evidence. Okay, so this is another one. So let me just highlight this one. So this is like 35 and 36, I guess. So here, 35 minus 36. There we go. Okay. Now, let us apply, I'm sorry. Let us apply both the terms means and end to marketing. So this is already in this this is already two things, like two important terms in marketing, pretty much. Means and end. The students have signed up for a course in order to learn how to market effectively, but to what end? There seem to be two main attitudes toward that question. One is that answer is obvious. The purpose of marketing is to sell things and to make money. The first one. And the other attitude is that the purpose of marketing is irrelevant. So there are two important things. Each person comes to the program and course with his or her own plans, and these need not even concern the acquisition of marketing expertise as such. My proposal, which I believe would also be Kant's, is that neither of these attitudes captures the significance of the end of the end to the means of marketing. A field of knowledge or professional what is the endeavor endeavor. I was like, endeavor or something like that. I'm not sure about the pronunciation yet. I'm just really forgetting about that. Is defined by both the means and the end. Hence, both deserve scrutiny. Importance, or careful investigation. Right. So yeah. So this is pretty much a field. So a field of knowledge or a professional endeavor is defined by the means and the end. Hence, both deserve scrutiny. Scrutiny means a careful investigation, which means that both terms are equally important. So both terms are equally important, which I preferably think that um yeah, number three, I guess. There's no more there's no more correct options here, number three. Because it's not talking about a high level of commitment, and there's no names, there are no different outcomes, and then there are no financial benefits. So the only answer is number three. However, however, I have a really interesting thing. Fire the arson for profit. There's also it is at this point that arson for profit becomes, so far we didn't find anything at all for this one. I would say just not given. The arson for profit course would be useful for people intending to set a fire for buildings. At this point, that arson for profit becomes supremely relevant. The course is presumably all about means, how to detect and prosecute a criminal activity. It is therefore assumed that the end is good and in an ethical sense. When I ask fire science students to articulate the end or purpose of their field, they eventually generalize to something like the safety and welfare of society, which seems right. As we have seen, someone could use the very same knowledge of means to achieve a much less noble and such as personal profit via destructive dangers and reckless activity. There we go. We found the answer. Yes. Uh Take that and give it a 38. Intending to set fire to buildings. Intending to set fire to buildings is another one to say personal profit via destructive, dangerous, reckless activity. There we go. Now, fire science courses are too academic to help people to be good at their something. But we would not call that firefighting. We have a separate word for it. Arson. Hmm. Fire science courses are too academic to help people. I guess it's somewhere right here they said it. Uh, so increasing professionalization. Here they said it. They're highly welcome as part of increasing professionalization of this and many other occupations. So the course surely helps the students to increase their professionalization. So the writers fire science no fire science are too academic. So I think it's no, like it's too academic to help people to get to be job. No, it's just increasing professionalization. It's paragraph B. I already mentioned that for us. The writers fire science students provided a detailed definition of the purpose. Um, but blah blah blah. But we would not call that firefighting. We have a separate word for it, arson. Similarly, if you employ the principles of marketing in an unprincipled way, you would not be doing marketing. We have another term for it, fraud. Kant gives the example of a doctor and a poisoner who uses the identical knowledge to achieve their divergent ends. We would say that one is practicing medicine and the other murder. So, really interesting one, yeah. The writer's fire science students provided a detailed definition of the purpose of their studies. I mean, when I ask fire students to articulate to the end or purpose of their field, they eventually generalize to something like the safety of welfare and society, which seems right. So they say they only generalize, which means to make a flat general or make a just to make a general statement or form a general opinion. So their opinion is general, not like detailed or particularly clear. But here is saying that detailed definition of the purpose of their studies. Detailed. So the answer is no. I'm just not going to waste time. However, for the lab paragraph B, where did we go? Oh, there it is. So, for the paragraph B, I mean F. Okay. Um. So obviously the paragraph F, there's an example of a doctor, poisoner, murderer. They might gather the same body of knowledge, but that they use that knowledge to absolutely different things, like or different purposes. As the writer says that we say that the doctor is practicing medicine and we say that the other is practicing murder. So the author does not talk about anything related to financial benefits, obviously. There's nothing about that. Different names for different outcomes is probably the only answer. So course that requires a high level of commitment. No, we're just gonna remove that. It's not even suitable for that. There's no financial benefits as well. So different names for different outcomes. I think that's the only option. So there we go, guys. We finished officially test one successfully. So yeah, there we go, guys. If you have any questions, I think the this one is not wasn't too much. It wasn't too big at all. However, yeah, if you have any questions, you can comment down below. We will obviously come back with a prompt answer to your request. Thank you very much, guys, for watching, and I'll see you hopefully on the next episode.